Welcome, Shabbat Shalom. Please be seated. We're going to open this afternoon service with words of our psalmists, recognizing how good it is to be together in community. And you can find the words to this next song on page 70 in your prayer book, page 70. If you know the words, please join me. And if you don't know the words, please join me, singing to the syllable or vowel of your choice. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
The words we just sang, Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad, how good and how pleasant it is for us to be together today. And those words ring true as we join together today to celebrate and honor Ava, Ariel, her Hebrew name, as she becomes a bat mitzvah. I'd like to welcome all of you to Temple Beshalom. My name is Rabbi Jessica Jacobs. I'm joined by Cantor Yuval Porat. Here at Temple Beshalom, we are a participatory community, and so that means whether or not this is your first time in a synagogue or you have been to synagogue many times before, we invite you to join in, to sing, and to utilize the prayer book to follow along in our service. So you have two different books, a smaller blue book and a larger blue book. You can put the larger book to the side for now, and the smaller blue book we will be praying out of together. I also would like to invite you to take a moment to check your cell phones and make sure that they are off or silent so that we can maintain the sanctity of our space this evening. So we're going to begin with Ava, with Ariel, receiving her talit, her prayer shawl, something that you can see the cantor and I are both wearing, that Jewish adults wear. This shawl is something that we wear during times of prayer, and on the corners it contains tzitzit. These remind us of the mitzvot, of the commandments that we follow as a Jewish people. And so we wear these as a reminder to live a life filled with mitzvot, a life filled with good deeds and with commandments. It's easy to remember to be a good person when we're wearing the talit. It's much harder to remember to be a good person when we're not wearing the talit. And so we wear the talit in the hopes that it will remind us that we should continue to do good deeds even when we're not wearing it. So I'd like to invite up Ava's parents to present her with her talit. And I believe this is a very special family talit that is Ava's grandfather's.
Yep.
Amazing. So you're going to hold it here. And Ava, you're going to stand right here. And you will say the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehi atef b'tzitzit.
Amen.
Amen. And your parents will place the talit around your shoulders. Beautiful. And I'll have you stand just like that as a family, but turn this way. Put your arms around Ava, and we will recite the Shehechianu blessing, thanking God for reaching this special moment.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Beautiful. So go ahead and give each other a hug, a kiss, whatever you'd like, as your parents have a seat. And Ava's going to continue leading us in our service.
Please turn to page 220 for the beginning of the afternoon service.
Baruch atah Adonai. Oh. Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha Od Yehalelu Asala.
אשרי יושבי ביתך עוד יהללוך סלה. אשרי יושבי ביתך עוד יהללוך סלה. אשרי
Please turn to page 224 for the Hatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועל מה דברה חירותי והמליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון וחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלם יעלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה באמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
We turn to page 226 and rise for the Amidah. Adonai, Sefatai Tifta, Ufi yagi tehilateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, ve'Elohei Leah.
האל הגדול, הגיבור הנורא, אל עליון, גומר חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל לחיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, נאמן נטל החיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל.
We remain standing for the Kedusha on page 232.
מקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה לזה ואמר, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו, אדוני אדוננו, מדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו, אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ורחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, דור ודור. הללויה, הללויה,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור,
לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, all generations, we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. We continue with the Kedushat Hayom on page 234. Eloheinu, ve'Elohei, avotenu, ve'imotenu, retzeh, vimnu hatenu. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest.
קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך, שבנו בטובך, ושמחנו בישועתך, ותאר ליבנו, ותאר ליבנו, ותאר ליבנו לעובדך באמת, ותאר ליבנו, ותאר ליבנו, ותאר ליבנו לעובדך באמת.
We continue with the Retzeh prayer on pages 236 to 237. Retzeh Adonai Eloheinu be'ameha Yisrael. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw near to life, to peace, to joy. May we find true rest, holiness in our deeds, worth in our study of Torah. Let us feed on the love of goodness. Let us drink from the love of goodness. Restrain our thirst for excess and cleanse our hearts to serve life well. On this holy Shabbat, may we draw near in life and peace and in joy. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otah levadha be'yirah na'avod.
Amen.
We continue with the prayer of gratitude, Modim Anachnu La, on page 238. Modim Anachnu La, She'atah Hu Adonai Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, le'olam va'ed. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one, whose mercies never end. O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails. We forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimha ulha na'eh lehodot. We sing together a prayer for peace, Shalom Rav, on page 240.
You may join your parents. You can take a seat.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום, שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב ובכל שעה בשמך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
We take a few moments of quiet, silent meditation, following the words in your heart or the words in the prayer book. And after those moments, we'll come back for what some might consider the main event, the Torah service.
As Cantor shared, we have reached the main event of our service today. This is when Ava becomes a bat mitzvah, when she will read from the Torah and showcase all of that hard work that she's done over the past few months with all of us. So in just a moment after we take out our Torah from the Ark, we're going to be switching over from our small prayer books over to our larger blue books so that you can follow along our Torah service. I also want to note that everyone has this pamphlet here with Ava's beautiful face on it, and inside of it you can find information about your honor, how you're participating in the service, so just make sure to follow along. We're a small group here, so we can all be on the same page together. So before we fully put away our small book, we're going to turn to page 244. Our first set of Ark openers are coming up here. We're going to rise as we remove the Torah from the Ark, and I'm going to invite Ava to come on up.
אין כמוך באלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך מלכותך, מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום.
There is none like you among the gods, Adonai, and there are no deeds like yours. You are sovereign over all worlds, and your dominion is in all generations. Adonai reigns, Adonai has reigned, Adonai will reign forever and ever. Adonai will give strength to our people, Adonai will bless our people with peace.
אהבה רחמים, היטיבה ברצונך את ציון, תבנה חומות ירושלים, תבנה חומות ירושלים. כי בך לבד בטחנו, מלך אל רם ונישא, אדון עולמים. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonaienu, Kadosh Shemo. גדלו לאדוני איתי, ונרוממה שמו יחדיו.
Ava, Ariel, this is the Torah, something that we have spent some time looking at and reading together. It is our morashah, our inheritance. And today, you inherit this Torah as well. Not just this scroll, but you inherit its stories, its lessons, its teachings, and as you pointed out to me many times, that it's a little messy, the stories that happen here in Torah. But we inherit everything, all the mess, all the reality that is life, so that we can learn from it. And today, you have chosen to inherit this Torah, and so we're going to invite your family up so that we can pass it from generation to generation down to you.
We are gifts and we are blessings. We are history in songs. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך. לדור ודור we protect this chain. Generation to generation, Ador Ador, these lips will praise your name. Lecha Adonai הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד, ככל בשמיים ובארץ, ככל בשמיים ובארץ. לך אדוני הממלכה והמתנשא לכל לראש. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו יעקודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו יעקודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. על שלושה דברים, שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. Thank you, Mark.
For our Torah service this afternoon, we will be reading from Chayei Sarah, which is a Torah portion that is found about halfway through the book of Genesis. The Torah, in the beginning of Genesis, began with the creation of all people, and not people who were Jewish, just anyone and everyone in the world, and we learn lessons from them. And as we move through the book of Genesis, we begin to follow our first Jewish family. And right here in this Torah portion, we are smack in the middle of some of their challenges, their trials, and their tribulations. Chayei Sarah, which Ava's going to teach us a little bit more about momentarily, means the life of Sarah. And it speaks ironically to the death of our first matriarch. It also continues with the familial line through her son Isaac, who eventually meets his wife Rebecca. As I mentioned before, Ava and I discussed during our meetings together that this family is a little bit problematic. And within their story, we see laid bare the inequities that exist in the ancient world and still permeate our society today. We see disparity between the wealthy and unwealthy. We see gaps between people of different genders. And these people we read about year after year are entirely human in the way that they make mistakes, they fall in love, they deal with fear and loss, and they attempt to be better. So we continue to read their stories, not to glorify their mistakes, but rather to learn from them, to remind ourselves that we too are only human, and yet we can do better. We must do better if we want to create a more equitable world. So our Torah reading begins on page 154 in your larger blue book, beginning with Genesis chapter 23, verse 1. And I'll invite Ava back up to the bima so she can begin calling her aliyot.
Ya'amdu ha'olim la'aliyah harishona. For the first honor, I would like to call up my grandma to the Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher baha banu mikol ha'amin v'natanu latnu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ve'yu hayei Sarah me'ashana ve'esrim shana ve'sheva shanim shnei hayei Sarah v'tamot Sarah ve'kiryat arbab hi haron be'eretz Canaan vayavo Abraham lispod leSarah ve'livkota. Vayakom Abraham al Panei Meito Vidaber el Bnei Hey Lemor.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet. Yehei olam nata beto chenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. You may hug and kiss the woman of the hour. And I'm going to ask you to stand here if you're able.
I'll be all right. Yeah, I can get there.
Cozy here.
Ya'amdu ha'olim la'aliyah hashniya. For the second honor, I would like to call up my Uncle Stephen to the Torah.
Baruch et Adonai Hambara.
Baruch Adonai mevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambara leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amin v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Ger v'toshav anohi imahem. Tanu li ahuzat kever imahem. Va'ekbara meti milefanai. Vaya anu b'nei het. Et Avraham lemor lo. Shema'enu Adoni nasi Elohim. Ata batohenu b'mivhar keverinu kever et meteha. Ishmimanu et kivro lo yichle mimeha. Mikvor meteha.
Uncle Stephen, one moment before you say the closing blessing, we're going to take a moment in the presence of our Torah to recite a Mishaberach lecholim, a prayer for the healing of the sick, those who are ill of the mind, of the body, or of the spirit. And so if you have anyone in your life who could use some extra healing, who could use some prayers or love sent their way, I invite you to share their name with the community as we recite this prayer. Mishe berach avotenu vimotenu Avraham Yitzchak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel vLeah hu yavarech et hacholim shelanu Hakadosh Baruch Hu yimalei rachamim alehem lehachalimam ulrafotam ulhachazikam vayishlach lahem mehera refuah shlema min hashamayim refuat hanefesh urefuat haguf hashda ba'gala uvizman kariv v'nomar amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all of those we named who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And together we say, Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochinu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ya'amdu ha'olim la'aliyah hashlishit. For the third honor, I would like to call up my mother Diana, my father Andrew, and my sister Eve to the Torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai mevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher barakar banu mikol hamin v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayakom Avraham vayishtahu le'am ha'aretz livnei hate vaydaber itam lemor im yesh et nafshahem likvor et meti milefanai shema'uni ufig'u li befron ben sohar.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet v'kayin olam na v'ktiyanu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
So we have now reached our final aliyah, the Maftir aliyah, which is an aliyah that is generally recited by whoever also recites the Haftarah, which Ava is going to do for us shortly. And this is the moment when Ava becomes a bat mitzvah, where she is officially called to read from the Torah and recites the blessings as well. So this reading can be found on page 163. We're going to skip ahead a little bit to Genesis chapter 25, verse 16.
Tamud, Tamud, bat hamitzvah, Ariel bat Ari v'Shaina, לקריאת המפטיר. ברוך אדוני מבורך לעולם ועד.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו Yishmael ve'ele shemotam b'hatreihem uvtirotam shenem asar nesim la'umotam ve'ele shenei hayei Yishmael me'at shana ushloshim shana ve'sheva shanim vayikva vayamov vayasef alamav vayishkenu mehavila ad shur asher al panei Mizraim boeha ashura al panei holahav nafa.
Beautiful. Shakwach.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam nata batoheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Mazel tov.
The Haftarah for Shabbat Hayei Sarah can be found on page 170. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzah v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Havoher b'Torah uf Moshe avdo uf Yisrael amo uvinviei ha'emet v'tzedek. Vataro bat Sheva el hamelech hahadra v'hamelech saken me'od v'avishag hashunamit me'sharat et hamelech. Our Haftarah continues toward the end at verse 31. Vatikod bat Sheva apayim eretz Fatish tahu lamelech vatomer yehi Adoni hamelech David la'olam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sur kol ha'olamim sadik behol ha'harorot ha'al haneman haomer v'avishad ve'oseh hamdaber kayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek. For the Torah, for the privilege of worship, for the prophets, and for this Shabbat that you, Adonai, our God, have given us, for holiness and rest, for honor and glory, we thank and bless you. May your name be blessed forever by every living being. Praise to you, Adonai, for the Sabbath and its holiness. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch hu, Baruch shemo.
Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
My Torah portion is Hayei Sarah in the book of Genesis, the first book of the Torah. Hayei Sarah means the life of Sarah. While reading the Torah portion, I learned that Sarah's life left a big impact on her family. Sarah was the first Jewish woman, and while immigrating, she still kept her Judaism and spread it to her family. That's why I decided to do research on both sides of my family and how they kept their cultures and how they left an impact on me. My great-grandma Lily left Germany for New York with her family on Kristallnacht, or the Night of Broken Glass, a night where the Nazis broke countless synagogues and Jewish homes and businesses. During such a frightening time for Jews, my great-grandma still kept her religion. My great-grandpa Morris was born in Colorado to a family who immigrated from Russia as Jews. My great-grandparents Jean and Sam were both born in the Lower East Side in Manhattan with Jewish parents who also immigrated from Russia. My great-grandparents Morris and Lily had my grandma Suzette in New York. During a time where Jews were discriminated against, they still kept their religion. My great-grandparents Jean and Sam had my grandpa Bill in New York. His family practiced Judaism even when it became difficult. My grandpa proposed to my grandma during a Shabbat dinner, and then they got married and had my dad. My dad and my uncle were both raised Jewish and both became bar mitzvah. My dad eventually met my mom, who was born in Korea, and they had my sister and I. Equally as important as my Jewish heritage is my Korean heritage. Although my mother was not born or raised Jewish, the way she came to America and had me reminds me of how Sarah maintained her culture while migrating. My mom was born in Seoul, Korea. My mother moved to Hawaii when she was 15. Although it was a big change for her family, she still managed to keep her culture. After living in Hawaii, she lived in various cities in the US, but finally made her way to Miami after meeting my dad. My mom and my dad had my older sister and then me in Miami. My mother made sure that we carried her culture with us by speaking to us in Korean, cooking delicious food, and visiting Korea with us. Knowing where I'm from has made me knowledgeable as to who I am as a person and what my values should be. My values have been heavily influenced by my parents. My mom has always taught me that even if people do things differently from me, that doesn't mean they're doing things wrong. And she's taught me to respect how other people do things, whether it's different from how I do them, because I can learn from others. This can show me that sometimes I have to change my perspective to get something done properly. My mom has always taught me to be proud of being Korean because it's something that makes my life a good life. I get to eat my mom's great food and travel to Korea. One of the things that my mom has taught me the most, that I've also learned from experience, is that you should do unto others what you want done unto you. Because when people see a good person in you, they want to treat you nicely. But when people see a bad person, there's not a reason to treat you nicely. My dad has always taught me to be charitable, and it's a big part of his life, so it's impacted mine also. And it makes me feel better about giving things away and knowing that what I'm getting rid of is going to a good place. Also, while studying for my bat mitzvah, this idea is tied to the value of tikkun olam, repairing the world, which has added a deeper meaning to knowing that people aren't as fortunate as I am. So being charitable and trying to improve others' lives is important to making the world a better place. My mom and dad have both taught me to be really caring, because they both go out of their way to do the little things that make others' days better. This has taught me that small acts of kindness are important, because they can really improve someone's day. Seeing my parents' experiences and also living my own experiences with them has taught me that being thoughtful is really important, because if you think a little before you act, it can improve what you do and create a stronger positive effect for others. When I was given the decision to become a bat mitzvah, learning about my Jewish heritage really stood out to me. Knowing both of my cultures has made me feel very fortunate as to how they have impacted my life. I am a descendant of two cultures that have been oppressed, yet both cultures have also overcome their oppression and persevered. Now, I'm choosing to become a bat mitzvah as I know it will teach me many lessons and honor my ancestors before me. Thank you to everyone for coming to share this experience with me. I know that some of you have traveled from far away. Thank you so much to my family for supporting me on my journey to become a bat mitzvah and for being here with me today. Shabbat Shalom.
Amazing. Beautiful, beautiful job, Ava. So I told you earlier, and I'll repeat it again, I know that you don't want there to be a lot of mushiness today. So I'm going to bless you, but I'm going to do my best to only speak words of truth, okay? So, Ava, when I learned that your Hebrew name is Ariel. I could not think of a more fitting name, as it means Lion of God. Because Ava, you are a lioness. You are quiet, yet calculating. You are quick-witted, and you are powerful. I can imagine that you could stare down anyone who tried to cross your path. But your inner strength is equally displayed in your kindness and your gentleness. You are patient and thoughtful in your interactions with others. You take time to consider your words before you speak them, and you have never left a conversation with me, and I've never seen you leave a conversation with others without first expressing gratitude for whoever you were speaking to. I'm really in awe of the choice that you've made today become a bat mitzvah. So often I stand here in front of a Jewish teenager who is standing here because their parents told them that they have to, and they're unsure as to why they are choosing to be part of a Jewish lineage. But this choice was entirely your own. You chose to work tirelessly for months, you learned a new language, you perfected your prayers, and you grappled with the contents of your Torah portion because it's important to you to honor your ancestors who came before you. As we just heard in your Devar Torah, you take your inheritance seriously. You may not even realize it, but you are already creating your own powerful link in our chain of tradition by bringing your full and authentic self to your Judaism. By celebrating and by honoring the tapestry of your unique, rich cultures and heritages, you enhance and expand the tapestry of our very own Jewish community. Ava, it's my hope for you that you continue to cultivate that inner strength, that you recognize the many blessings that you have in life, that you use your voice and your power to do good for others, and that you accept all of the love that comes your way, of which there will be much. It's our wish at Temple Beth Shalom that today is just one step on your Jewish journey, that you continue down your path of self-discovery, knowing that you will always find a home and a sense of rootedness in the Jewish community. So, Mazel Tov, Ariel, Bat Ari Vishena, may you continue to go from strength to strength. Cantor and I are now going to bless you in the words of our ancients, the priestly benediction.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May God bless you and keep you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך
Ava, may you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find a lifetime of shalom, of wholeness, and of peace.
Amen.
We all say together, Amen.
Amen.
Beautiful. Mazel Tov, Ava.
Thank you.
So there's some candy out in the crowd, which I'm going to invite you all to begin passing out, because in just a moment, we are going to shower Ava with that sweetness. Very gently, we're going to shower it with her. But first, we're going to return our Torah to the ark as we lift and as we dress it. So I'll invite you to rise as you are able as we do so.
Shah
Our tradition is to shower our bat mitzvah with sweetness and to do so gently, but recognizing that there are always some folks in the room who are a little bit overzealous, we invite Ava to have some guards. If there's anyone who she would like to invite up on the bima to help guard her, is there anyone you would like to call up?
Eve, Caroline, and Amelia.
Amazing. So I'm going to invite our guards to come up. Ava, we're going to have you step all the way back. A couple of other rules is you can only throw from your seat, and afterwards we're going to invite all of our guards to pick up the candy off the ground, and please do not throw until all of the adults are out of the way.
Here we go. Siman tov, mazal tov, mazal tov, siman tov, mazal tov, mazal tov, siman tov, mazal tov, mazal tov, siman tov, yehelanu, 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 ulechol Yisrael, yehelanu, yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael.
Guards, you did a beautiful job. She was well protected. We're going to continue to stay risen as we turn and open the ark for the Aleinu prayer, which can be found on 282. Pinar family, come on up.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה. שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We continue to stand as we turn to page 291 in the small siddur at the bottom of the page. Please continue to stay standing. There are stars up above, so far away, we only see their light, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We turn to page 294 for the Mourner's Kaddish, as we remember those who have came before us, who no longer walk this earth, but who still live on as memories in our hearts. The family in particular remembers today William Schultz. We as a Temple Beth Shalom community as well remember all of those who perished in the Holocaust, all of those who have fought and died so that we can live here as free people in America, and those who have also done so that we can have a homeland in the land of Israel. If there's anyone who you all are thinking of today, if you'd like to share any additional names with us of someone who you're thinking of today, I invite you to do so as my hand passes across the room. We recite the words of Mourner's Kaddish together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra churtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'almei almaya, Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitale, v'yitalal, shemei dekudasha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, dalmiran belma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu vel kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu vel kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen.
Amen.
May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all of Israel, and to people everywhere. Together we say, amen. You may be seated. And I'm going to have Mark Baranek come up, and I'm going to actually, Ava, I'm sorry, I lied to you. You're going to come up one more time for our gift presentation.
Ava, sometimes there's kids that I talk to like this, and I don't know who they are. I just come up because they're members of the temple, and it's my job. In this case, it's not that way. Because I remember you when you were in your mommy's tummy. I specifically remember when your mom was pregnant with you. We go back a long time. Remember your older sister as a little girl, and you were just a baby when you were here. And I don't know how it happened, but here you are. Have you ever heard of the Oakland Raiders? Do you know who the Oakland Raiders are?
No.
Does anybody in this room know who the Oakland Raiders are? All right, the Oakland Raiders no longer exist. They're now the Las Vegas Raiders. Their original owner was a man named Al Davis, who created a motto called Pride and Poise. And you exemplify that motto. You are very poised up here. You're terrific. You could go on for hours if you wanted to, but you don't. You're also very proud. And one of the things that my long friendship with your parents and your dad and I is that your dad always used to tell me, I'd always ask how your mom was and how you guys are doing. And he would tell me that every summer you'd go to Korea to be with your family out there. And how proud he was that you had both cultures. And the way you shared that today with everyone is really special. Really. Your parents also exemplify something else. I grew up in Canada, and I grew up in a Zionist youth movement called Young Judea. And one of our mottos was Hadracha b'dugma, which means leadership by example. And your folks have always exemplified that, leadership by example. The tikkun olam that you mentioned about, the tzedakah that they are involved with. I remember one night just a few years ago, I think it was before the pandemic, we went to this event that your dad's involved with out in Fort Lauderdale, and we had cigars. I don't know how proper that is, politically correct, but we had cigars and we had scotch, and then we were supposed to drive back. But I don't know how we did that. We did it. And there are all these people there, and they're raising money, and there's auction items, and there's all this for charity to make this world a better place. So listen, I'm a big believer in quality, not quantity. So there may be a small group here, but I know many of these people here. I don't know how you got so big. I don't know how the Green Boys got so big. Your sister's an adult here now, and time just flies by. It's I guess as you get a little bit older, time flies by even quicker. And so when I knew it was your bat mitzvah, when I saw your folks a number of months ago, and they said, yeah, we have a bat mitzvah date for Ava, and it's going to be in November, and I said, I'm not missing it. And all these months are later, and we're here right at this moment. So I'm a big believer in living for the moment. And just take a second. Lucky you, your grandma's here, and your folks, and your sister, and your good friends who protected you nicely. Good job with the Candy Girls. Nice job. It's really special. So I just want to give you these gifts on behalf of the temple and tell you one last thing. The doors at our temple are always open for you. Whatever you want to participate in, whatever you want to do, you're always welcome. I know you're probably busy with school and activities and all that, but just know Temple Beth Shalom is always open to you. Okay? So I'm going to give you some gifts. on behalf of the temple. First, we have a Kiddush cup. It's a Kiddush cup from our sisterhood. It's for you. It's a lovely cup, and we can use it on Shabbatot and on holidays. I'll put this here for now. This is a nice big traveling. We used to call it a traveling, so you could put it, but it's so friggin' heavy. Don't use it. I'm telling you, it's heavy. So use it just at home when you want. Here is a lovely gift certificate. When I come to your house, I expect to see it framed on the fridge. No, you don't have to do that. Don't worry here. Take it easy. That's for you. This is a certificate that a tree has been planted in the land of Israel in honor of your bat mitzvah by the clergy and staff. I'll leave this all here for you. And then this is a bond, has been purchased in Israel, again, by everyone here at the synagogue. And finally, these are 2 gift certificates, one to the Alexander Muss High School in Israel program, and one to the Nifty in Israel that you can use after your 10th grade. Finally, and finally, and finally, your mom and dad, your sister, and you, I've known for a long time. I remember when your parents first came to the synagogue the first time, and I've always valued our friendship. It's, we don't see each other a lot these days. You're busy, I'm busy, whatever. I just know whenever I see you, it's like being back home with all of you. And so it's really special to be able to celebrate this special moment. And it should always be nice moments like this in your lives. Mazel tov. Mazel tov, honey. You're so sweet. All the best.
Thank you.
All right. That's for you. Wow, I spoke for about 20 minutes here. Sorry, everyone. I got carried away. But it's all good. We're here. It's fine. There you go. Sorry, Rabbi.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, gosh. Amazing. Mazel tov, Ava. Right? We have concluded, and as you can all see, Shabbat has ended. The sky has darkened, and so we are going to close out not only this very special occasion, but this Shabbat. And so I'm actually going to invite all of you to come up and do Havdalah as we separate and celebrate this special moment. So please, everyone, come join us on the Bima for Havdalah.
See anything? Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ. אמן.
And we conclude with Shavua Tov, wishing each other a good and precious and special week. Mazel Tov to all of you.
שבוע טוב, 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 שבוע טוב. A good week, a week of peace, may gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace, may gladness reign and joy increase. שבוע טוב, מזל טוב, ותיאבון. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Alan.
יישר כוח. Thank you. Okay, she can't forget all this stuff. Oh, this is heavy. Wow.